So there's nothing difficult about this build whatsoever. It's mainly two components, the main one being this, which is just a cheap start-stop cover. So I'd seen these a few years ago and they were maybe £3 or £4 each at the time. However, now they've dropped to around 80p to £1 depending on where you get them from. So I got these 6 from AliExpress, and I'll post a link in the description as well. But I picked these mainly because of the cool iris opening feature. So I was thinking I could do something with them, and then I had the idea for the objective markers. So you can see inside there'll be a gap through and the individual marker number coming in the bottom. So in certain scenarios you'd need to keep that number hidden. As long as these look all relatively uniform, you can then twist to open them. When they've been deployed, you can find out which one's which. The second piece you'll need is quite simply a 50mm base. These ones I picked up again relatively cheaply, I think off eBay, and simply just glue it on top. Like this one. So this base is a fraction bigger, but it doesn't really matter. And it's just, again, the nice smooth opening action. So one thing I have noticed is this one's very easy to do. This blue one, however, it does stick somewhat. So if you can see on the bottom, there are 4 points where the plastic mechanism sort of clips in. What I've found is if you just unhook these, push them back in one by one, it's nice and easily like that. It then makes the mechanism a lot smoother and easier to open. Do that a few times and it'll wear it down enough so you get a nice smooth action. Other than that, that's kind of it. The rest is entirely up to you. So like I say, go raid your bits box. You can add additional pipes and things like I'm going to do on these. The idea for me though is just to try and keep these uniform, so when you twist a number in the middle, it's not easy to detect which one's which before, you know, game setup. So let me go away and do these and I'll come right back. And these are the 6 I came up with. Just very, very simply detailed. A bundle of Python cables from the Electro Priest kit, I believe it is, and just a couple of small sections of green stuff piping. I'd recommend anybody getting green stuff roller just to be able to make piping if you've got anything left over. You do any of the project green stuff, you'd be able to chuck it in there and make some for, you know, wherever you need it. One of the hardest bits of doing this was actually trying to find enough pieces that are all the same, so I just kept it very, very simple because of that. Opening it up inside, really simply just put the numbers in the bottom. There's a little bit of space in there so you can add some extra detail if you want. I think I might chuck some weapons in there or some coins or something like that, I'm not quite sure yet. Now, as previously mentioned, these are 50mm in diameter. Now I realise that most games now use 40mm diameter objective markers, thinking mainly sort of 40k or Kill Team. But what I've done is the centre dark metallic black ring, if you want to call it, is 40mm in diameter. So if you measure to the inside, sorry, the outside of the black ring, then that should get you the correct distance. One thing I would say, if you're doing these and you are spraying them, give them a long enough amount of time so it's fully cured. I tried to rush this and do it in a few hours, and I ended up, as you can see on some of the yellow here, it sort of rubbed the paint off because I was trying to open it to see inside. The effect actually works quite nicely, sorry. However, I think again in future, just to stop the gunking of the mechanism, sorry, I will probably leave them again to be a bit longer. These are a really, really simple build and I really enjoyed doing them just to get myself back in the flow. It's been a while since I've done anything like this. I'll just open all these up. Again, you can customize them as much as you want and do it in your own way, but my thought was for objectives that need to be random, you can then at least have them all sealed up and then pick out these and then open them after they've been placed to tell you what numbers are what. How I painted these, if anybody's interested, was a general black undercoat, a dry brush of Iron Warriors all over, and then pick out the red ring using masking tape and a 40mm base, and use Mephiston red with a sponge of Wild Rider red just on the edges, just to give it a little bit of chipping. The transfers are from the Ashways Hab kit transfer sheet that came out a year or so ago. The internal bottom was corn red overlaid with mephiston red just to give a nice solid coat. The sides, after having their Iron Warriors dry brush as well, were given a watered down mix of Dark Oath Chieftain and the contrast paint, just to give a kind of a grimy look, not so much corroded, but definitely grimy. To mark out the silver rings on top, it was just a 40mm base I just put on over the cover whilst I was spraying. Simply just put a little bit of blue tack on just to make a mask, and then just spray around. And then lastly, the yellow was Vallejo Moon Yellow, because I've got a few bottles of that for another project, so I just took that on top and did a nice bright coat, and then just given a slight wash of the Dark Oath Chieftain again, just to give a little bit of grime on the top. But that is it. Really simple, really easy to do. You can chip away at them after you've got the main two components glued together, and again, a little bit of space inside, so you can customize them as much as you want with extra details and things on the interior, but again, keeping that uniform kind of look. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I found it useful if you're going to give it a go. I'm very happy with these, and I'll leave you some little shots. But as always, if you like what you see, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully this is the first of me getting back on track, because I realise it's been quite a while since I posted anything, but I will see you very soon.